It's your girl Roxie with Roxiie Says, and we're going to talk about it. Today we are reviewing Traitors US Season 3, Episode 4. Y'all wanted me to get to this so badly, and I know why, baby. My face was on the floor. Not even my jaw. My face was on the floor while watching this episode. So let's get right into this review. But before we do, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you are made aware every time I post a new video. And thank you all so much for those of you who tuned in to my last Traitors review. You hit like, you hit subscribe, you commented. I appreciate it so much. So let's get started, all right? So this episode opens up with Gabby confirming that she heard Danielle's voice coming out of that bookcase. She had no questions about it. She knew it was Danielle, all right? So she runs on up out of there because she doesn't want to be seen, because she knows that if Danielle is a traitor, she will definitely be on the chopping block. So these geniuses in the last episode, they left the bookcase wide open when they left. And you know Detective Dylan, who was already very suspicious, is gonna go snooping around, all right? So Danielle, she goes in with him to keep an eye on him and to make sure that, you know, he don't see those scrolls in that little RIP coffin. This scene kind of annoyed me just a little bit because in that bookcase room, there's so much junk in there. So much crap is in there. But Dylan could tell that something was different. Dylan, you could tell that something was different in that messy behind room that you've probably only been in, what, once or twice since you got there? And then he walked right up to the mantle that had the coffin on it with the scrolls inside. Okay, but he doesn't notice it. He just says, damn, we're too late. We missed the Traitors, okay? Clearly they met up in this room. So, child, as everyone is all chilling, they think everything is cool. They hear Alan outside. He starts ringing a little bell. So they know that something is up and it ain't good, all right? Plus, they see these 3 coffins when they get outside, so they know something's really about to go down. And we find out that the shortlisted people are Jeremy, Sierra, and Nikki. So y'all already know I don't feel no ways about Jeremy being shortlisted because I didn't like his ass from episode 1 when he didn't want to get his behind off the boat, but he wanted to go to the next pontoon for the money. Yeah, didn't like him. But as far as Nikki and Sierra, I felt bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, they didn't even do anything. They're not even in the mix. I never even heard anyone accuse them of being a traitor. But that was the name of the game. The Traitors wanted to confuse everyone. But I did feel really bad for Sierra and Nikki, all right? But in Jeremy's mind, him being in that coffin only confirmed it even more for him that Danielle is definitely a traitor and she's the one who put his behind in there, okay? So they all get a chance to say their final words before they're laid to rest. And Sierra's like, y'all know I'm not an effing traitor. Sarah was like, y'all know I'm not an effing traitor, and whoever it is, I'm going to find you and I'm going to hunt you down. And Alan is like, eloquence is always Sierra. And everyone started cracking up. The way I was rolling, Alan just be shading these people left and right all day, every day. Nikki says that her biggest asset is her strength, and she can use it to win challenges and to add money to the pot. So that was her plea for them to save her. Jeremy is like, look, you know I'm trying to find you. You know I'm trying to find you. So if you keep me, I will work with you, all right? So really what Jeremy was saying was, look, Danielle, I know it's you. You know I know it's you. You know it's you. We all know it's you. If you keep me, I will help you win this thing. I will be loyal to you. But do you think that Danielle gave a damn about those words that was coming out of that coffin from Jeremy's mouth? Not at all, all right? So when the Traitors meet up, they're really excited because everyone is confused, which is exactly what they wanted. And B-Rob points out that everyone in the coffins will now be suspected of being a traitor. So they pretty much got 3 red rums for the price of 1. And he is 1000% correct because, baby, back at the castle, that is exactly what everyone is assuming. So next we see Bob, the drag queen. He's putting those nails in that coffin and he is hammering it shut. And I thought that was quite poetic, actually. So it's breakfast time and everyone is so nervous. Everyone is so nervous. Robin is telling the Bambis that she believes that Nikki and Jeremy have been traitors the entire time. But Gabby defends her fellow Bambi. She's like, no, not my girl Nikki. She is not a Bambi, okay? Pick somebody else. And then she tells them about being positive, 100% positive, that she heard Danielle's voice coming out of that bookcase room last night. And they know that the Traitors had to have congregated somewhere, somehow, in plain sight. So they genuinely believe that it happened in that bookcase room, all right? And Gabby believes that Danielle is a traitor because she's been extremely emotional for the past few days. Now, we talked about that in the previous review. Danielle was crying when, who went home? Was it when Dorinda went home? Not Dorlinda, Dorinda. Was she crying when Dorinda went home? And I'm like, girl, why are you crying for Dorinda? You don't know that lady. She was doing a lot, and it's making her look suspicious. So when Danielle comes downstairs to breakfast, Robin and Gabby, they're like, look, who was in the bookcase room last night? Straight up. We gonna ask out in the open in front of everybody. We know that the traitors went in there, so which one of y'all hoes was it? Pretty much. I like that they didn't come out and accuse Danielle. They left the question open to see if she would admit it, okay? Because if they were like, hey, Danielle, did you go in the bookcase room? Then she definitely would have said yes. But them leaving the question open and not calling any names gave Danielle the opportunity to deny it, right? And if she did deny being in that bookcase room, off the bat, they would have knew that she was definitely a traitor. But Danielle says, oh, Dylan and I, we went in the bookcase room. And then Bob, the drag queen, he says, oh yeah, I went in there too because it was open and I was curious. So, we was just looking around. And immediately Gabby, she's like, damn. My theory has been debunked just like that. But Danielle says that she is not worried about Gabby because she's like, Gabby is just a sweet little Bambi. She's just a nice little girl. She don't bother nobody. She don't do nothing. Danielle is not worried about Gabby at all. But she does tell Derek, who's sitting next to her, that she does think that the traitor would be the girl next door. So she does put a baby target on Gabby's back. She plants that seed in Derek's ear just for the future in case she needs to cash in on it, all right? So finally, the last set of people enter the breakfast room, and we find out that the person who was red-rummed last night was none other than Jeremy. And everyone is shocked. Everyone is completely confused and sad. And baby, they show us the traitors making their decision last night, and Danielle makes it clear Jeremy ass needs to go home tonight because he said my name. And if he's already suspecting me, he cannot stay here, okay? But Carolyn, she doesn't want him to be red-rummed because he's one of her survivor buddies. But B-Rob is like, look, you come for one of us, you come for all of us. We got to stick together. Which is very funny. Which is very funny coming from B-Rob, but we gonna get to that, all right? But Carolyn is not happy about this decision, and she's starting to see that her fellow traitors don't listen to her. They don't value her opinion. They just, sweep her off to the side. And she did mention in previous episodes that that is the same thing that happened to her on Survivor. But a lot of y'all told me in the comments that Carolyn actually made it pretty far in Survivor. So she's definitely used to being underestimated. And in her confessional, she's crying and she's regretting allowing Danielle to make that decision. So back in the breakfast room, Nikki and Sierra are talking about the experience and being in the coffins and hearing the nails being hammered in the coffins. So they're like, how many traitors was it? How many footsteps did you hear? And Bob, the drag queen, is like, oh my God, yes, tell us, how many traitors did you hear? Anything, give us anything. And I'm like, yo, Bob. Bob, the drag queen, is an actor, okay? He cracks me up. And they were like, it sounded like maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. And Nikki says one of the feet sounded very light, like really light footsteps, like little Peter patter, right? And Danielle is like, huh? Really? You said that one of the footsteps, it sounded kind of light, right? Girl, you heard her the first time. Why would you ask her that question again? Why would you ask her that question again and put more heat on your back when you know that Jeremy has already been running around the house saying that he thinks that you are one of the traitors, Danielle? Not very smart, sis, because all that did was make Nikki look at you even more sideways than she already was. Child, Alan comes in and he tells them to keep their expensively chiseled Alan says, keep y'all expensively chiseled chins up. It's going to be okay. Go upstairs and get ready for your next challenge, all right? The way that he comes in and just shaves these people and leaves is hilarious. So now everyone is running around the house and they're all assuming that Nikki and Sierra are traitors, which is exactly what the traitors wanted. And that's what Nikki is trying to explain to the others. She's like, this is exactly what they wanted. They put 2 people in here who are not traitors so that everyone else would think that at least one person in the 3 coffins actually was a traitor when it was really none of us. So that'll take the heat off of them. All right. Meanwhile, Dylan still isn't letting go of that hunch. He is still not letting go of that hunch that Bob the drag queen is a traitor. He was like, look, y'all looking at Nikki and Sierra. I'm telling you, it is Bob the drag queen. It's been him, but no one is listening to me and everyone is afraid to call him out. And he's like, I tried to do it at the last roundtable, but baby, the way they ate me up and spat me out, I can't do it again. I need some help this week. Okay, he didn't say all of that, but that's exactly what he was thinking, all right? So it is time to get to the challenge. And for this mission, they have 45 minutes to transport these statue pieces all the way to the top of a hill and rebuild the statue, okay? So each statue that is fully constructed adds $2,000 to their grand pot. It's a total of $20,000 that can be won for this particular challenge. The catch is each headpiece has one of their names on it. However, there are 18 heads, but only 10 bodies. So womp, womp, womp for the 8 people who don't get their head on a statue, okay? So the timer starts and everyone starts scrambling to pick up their statue pieces, but Bob wants them to stop and plan out who needs a shield and who doesn't need a shield, and let's prioritize. They're like, look, we ain't trying to hear nothing that you saying. Everyone and their mama is ignoring Bob the drag queen, all right? So child, now everyone is running up the hill. Woo, they running up the hill, trying to get these statue pieces to the top. But the women are noticing that a lot of the men are starting with their heads, so that when everyone else brings all of the other statue pieces to the top, all they got to do is plop their heads right on the top of it, which is extremely messed up. This is another challenge, and even Alan made note of it. Another challenge where the men are not helping the women out, okay? We also see that this challenge in particular was an extremely humbling experience for Bob H, because he was a trainer on The Biggest Loser, and he also beat cancer 7 years ago, and he was always convinced that his body can do any and everything, okay? But he struggled so much during this challenge, which was extremely physical. Not only are they carrying something that's heavy, they're carrying it up a damn hill, okay? And I felt really bad for him during this scene, but I was like, was he mean on The Biggest Loser? Was he an a-hole? Was he a kind and an empathetic trainer? Would he have been cursing the contestants out if they were stopping during one of their challenges? Let me know, because I'm curious. I want to know how bad I should feel for him, okay? So, of course, Tom is the first to put his head on top of the statue that he didn't even fully build, okay? And they're all talking about how selfish he is. Bob, the drag queen's head, is the third one up there. And I was like, now, Bob, I know that you aren't trying to come off as a traitor, so you want to, give the image that you need some type of shield, but you could have at least left the spot open for someone else. You did not have to put your head on top of that damn statue. You really didn't. You could have at least acted like you broke an ankle or something. I mean, damn. Seriously. But I was cracking up when Bob was running up the hill and Sierra was running up the hill, and he's like, come on, girl, you need a shield because everyone thinks you're a traitor. She was like, everyone thinks I'm a traitor? Sierra, yes, where the hell have you been, girl? You didn't know that? Child, so eventually everyone, they get to the top, but Sierra, Carolyn, Nikki, Robin, Sam, Gabby, and Derek are not safe. They did not get to put their head on a statue. So all of the traitors, except for Carolyn, put their heads on a statue. B-Rob, you put your head on a statue. Danielle, you put your head on a statue. Bob, the drag queen, you put your head on a statue too. Okay, child. Anyway, so everyone is celebrating their victory. The challenge is over and they can all just go home and eat their little shish kebabs, okay? But Bob the drag queen makes a comment that will ultimately seal his fate and come back to bite him in the ass. And it was so unnecessary. That's what really blew my mind. So Bob the drag queen says, I think that one of the new guys really needed to get their head up there because everyone thinks that one of them might be a traitor. Baby, the way that Boston Rob looked over at Bob the drag queen, he looked over at him like, you done f***ed up, right? You done f***ed up, right? That's exactly how he looked. Why would you say that, Bob the drag queen? Especially when one of your fellow traitors is a new guy and already has a reputation for being cutthroat. Child, it was up and stuck from there, okay? B-Rob put his plan into motion before they even made it back to the damn trucks to drive home. He was like, look, we got to give the faithful some blood tonight. I was like, whoo, child. So as soon as they get back to the castle, B-Rob starts making a beeline for everyone in secret to blindside Bob the drag queen at tonight's roundtable. And he goes right to Dylan first. So Dylan is excited because he's like, finally, someone is listening to me. Dylan is so adorable, but he was really excited to have the support of someone from the big three, okay? Because B-Rob is a force to be reckoned with. And when Dylan tried to state his claim in the last roundtable, it didn't go too well for him. So B-Rob's support meant everything to him. So now B-Rob and Dylan, they're running around the castle saying, Bob the drag queen, Bob the drag queen. They're having secret meetings with this person, that person, telling them why they think that Bob the drag queen is an actual traitor. Meanwhile, Wes, he's campaigning for Nikki to be banished tonight, okay? Child Derek goes to Nikki and he's like, look, we're all voting for Bob the drag queen. You need to be in on it. And Nikki's like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm like, oh girl, you better. You better, because if Bob the drag queen don't go home tonight, your ass is going home, okay, sis? So finally, B-Rob makes his way to Danielle and Carolyn. He saved them for last, okay? And he's like, look, look, everyone all over the house is saying that Bob the drag queen is a traitor. And I was like, yeah, because of you. Because of you and Dylan, child. And he tells them it's going down tonight. With or without us, it's going to happen tonight. Everyone is going to vote for Bob, the drag queen. And both Carolyn and Danielle, they're like, no. They're like, no, especially Danielle, because Bob, the drag queen, is, in her words, her ride and die. It's ride or die, Danielle, but her ride and die. And Carolyn, she doesn't love the idea either. Child, Carolyn don't be wanting to send anyone home. Carolyn wants everyone to stay and she just wants to share the pot, child. But honestly, no one really wants to vote for Bob the drag queen because they all love him, his personality, his presence. So it's a really hard decision for a lot of the people in the castle. So child, now it is roundtable time. It is roundtable time, and Bob the drag queen, as he's going in, he's like, I'm not nervous at all. I'm chilling. You know, I'm going to just keep my head down. I ain't going to say much. I might have a little drinky drink and just kick my feet up, okay? Meanwhile, Wes is a little nervous about calling out Nikki, and B-Rob is definitely nervous about his plan backfiring on him tonight, all right? So child, Alan gives them the floor, and it's really quiet until Wes decides to finally speak up, and he was like, look, Nikki, I think that you're a traitor. I always thought that you were a traitor since I first got here. And he says that he's suspicious of her because he knows that she's a show woman, right? And since she's been here, she's laid low, and her fellow traitors have done a great job at protecting her. And he says that he wants everyone to stick with their gut and vote her off tonight. And Nikki was like, you know, that's BS. And I'm suspicious of you because you only been here for 2 days. Who the hell are you, actually? I don't even know your damn name. You only been here for 2 days, but you want to come point the finger at me? Oh, you got me all the way up. You just got here, fool. All right, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that's what she was saying. And she makes it clear that she is not a traitor. She is a faithful. Then Derek speaks up and he says that Sierra is the traitor because she didn't plead enough when they were in that coffin. And she was cursing, okay? And he says that he's a detective. And in interrogations, the suspect usually uses a lot of profanity to make their statement more believable. And he's right, because I watch a whole lot of interrogation videos. I love that type of content. And these people will be cursing up an entire storm knowing that they got a damn body buried in their backyard, okay? But child, I felt so bad for Sierra in this scene because she starts pleading and she starts trying to defend herself. And she says, look, that's just the way I talk. I curse a lot, but I swear to you, I'm a faithful. I'm a nurse. I've never wanted to be a traitor. I love helping people. She says all the things, okay? And the entire time, B-Rob and Dylan are looking at each other like, okay, are we going to jump in here? They're starting to put the heat on Sierra. That's not what they want. And finally, B-Rob steps in and child, it's a shit show from there. It's a shit show from there. And he was like, look, all of this that y'all doing right now, it's a distraction. Since I've gotten here, there's been one person quarterbacking this entire show, and they have everyone's love and they have everyone's admiration, but they are fooling you, okay? They are a traitor. So everyone is looking around like, oh my God, he's about to say it. And he finally says it. That person is Bob the drag queen. Child! Oh my goodness. The way that Bob the drag queen was shocked. I know in the previous episodes, he claimed that he was practicing his shocked face. This was not a practice shocked face. He was truly gagged. He was truly gagged and truly shocked. He thought that he was going to come into this round table and kick his feet up and not have to defend himself and not have to say anything. Child, that is not what happened, okay? B-Rob had other plans. And then Dylan said, put me in, coach, okay? Because he jumped in and he says, look, Bob the drag queen has been deflecting this entire time, but no one sees it because everyone loves him so much. So Bob the drag queen, he's like, hold up. Let me tell y'all something. I will tell a joke, but I will never tell a lie. And he looks at everyone and he says, I swear to God that I am a faithful. I swear to God that I am a faithful. I am not a traitor, straight face. And baby, if I didn't know that Bob the drag queen was a traitor, I would have believed him. I would have believed him. He didn't flinch. His eyes didn't move. Straight face, 1000% believable. But B-Rob is like, nah, you're not. and I got you, child. Bob the drag queen is fighting for his life at this point, and he's like, I'm standing 10 toes down. You're just afraid of me. And Dylan says that he knows when someone is acting because he grew up with an actor, Zac Efron, right? And Bob the drag queen was like, well, he wasn't a good actor. I was like, Bob, you ain't have to do that to Zac. See now, Bob, I was one of the people who would have 1000% believed you if I didn't know that you were actually a traitor. Oh, but after that comment would have definitely changed my mind, because I feel that in an argument, when people start throwing out those ad hominem insults like that, they already lost. They already lost, child. So B-Rob says, I know he's a traitor. I guarantee he's a traitor. And look, if he's not a traitor, y'all can banish me next week. And I was like, see now, B-Rob, you took it a bit too far, okay? People were believing you. People were believing you. They were rocking with you, and they still are believing and rocking with you. But by saying that, you put a target on your own back, and we gonna get to it in just a bit, all right? You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. It's gonna come back to bite you in your ass, all right? So, child, it is voting time. It's voting time. And when I tell you my jaw, no, not my jaw, my face was on the floor during this entire scene. So first up, we have Dolores, and she votes for Bob the drag queen, okay? But next, it was time for Danielle to vote, and they knew to go to commercial break. They knew to go to commercial break. Now, part of me, I didn't think that Danielle would do it. I didn't think that she would throw her Bob the drag queen under the bus. But child, when she turned her little card around and it said Bob the drag queen, I was so shocked. I was so shocked. And you can see on Bob the drag queen's face, he was shocked, but more importantly, he was hurt. He was very hurt by it. I was like, damn, Danielle, not your ride and die. Not your ride and die. Oh my goodness. He took his glasses off, baby. I felt like I was watching like a death scene in The Sopranos. The music was playing. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Bob the drag queen in the moment, but look, you brought this on yourself. I do not think that B-Rob would have came for you like that had you not said that shit at the end of the challenge earlier. You didn't have to say it. I do believe that he would still be in this competition, and B-Rob would have found someone else to gang up on, okay? But Bob the drag queen is so hurt because we heard him say that he wanted to take this thing all the way to the end with Danielle. Child, so we get a few more votes. We get some for Sierra, some for Nikki, okay? But then all of the votes keep coming in, and it's Bob the drag queen. Bob the drag queen. Bob the drag queen over and over and over again. And Chrishell, I'm going to need you to just stand on your vote. Side note, I'm going to need you to just stand on your vote. Stop apologizing when you put your vote in. Oh, I'm so sorry if I'm... Girl, just put your damn vote in and call it a day, okay? Stand on business, because you did it at the last round table too, okay? So, child, Bob the drag queen, he got over 10 votes. So it's a done deal. He was banished. And baby, the way I couldn't wait for Bob the drag queen to get his ass up to that circle of truth, I could not wait, all right? So he finally gets up there and he was like, look, I said it. I will tell you the truth, but I would never tell a lie. And I said, I swear to God. That's what I said. I said it to all of y'all. And before he said his next sentence, I was sitting there. I was like, he don't believe in God. He don't believe in God. I was literally screaming. I was like, that's it. He doesn't believe in God, baby. And the way that he turned around and he said, I don't believe in God. I'm a traitor. Child, the whole room erupted. It was like their sports team just won a championship game because they found their first traitor. Congratulations to everyone. So they're celebrating and they're praising B-Rob and Dylan for figuring it out, because remember, Dylan been saying this from the previous episodes, and they're all like, look, I'm going to start listening to everything that Dylan and B-Rob says. They got my trust from now on, all right? Meanwhile, Danielle is in her confessional and she's crying and she's like, oh, I betrayed Bob the drag queen. I didn't want to do it. He was supposed to be my ride and die. Oh, no. I didn't want to do it. It's B-Rob's fault. B-Rob made me do it. I'm like, girl, bye. Bye. Is this how Brittany was crying when she sent you home on Big Brother? Because why are you crying, girl? You didn't have to vote for Bob the drag queen. Even without your vote, he still would have been banished. But you didn't have to vote for him. You could have voted for someone else, okay? So don't get in your confessional crying now. Talking about we were supposed to protect each other. We were supposed to stick together. And now B-Rob has all the power now. Yeah, because you gave it to him, sis. You helped him carry out this plan, and you didn't have to. You really didn't have to. I mean, he probably would have came for you next, but you could have stayed indignant and not vote for your boy, okay? So wipe them damn tears, please, and thank you, all right? Carolyn also feels like this night solidified that the Traitors are not a team. They're not a team at all. And Dylan, he's still super excited. And Boston Rob now sees Dylan as someone who he can trust and who he will bring all the way to the end until it's time for him to red rum him, okay? You know B-Rob don't give a damn. And they're already plotting on Gabby and Bob H being the next people that they take out. But I'm like, hey, Dylan, be careful. Be careful, okay? But then we have someone else who has their thinking cap on, all right? We know that Dylan is very observant, but we got another person who has their thinking cap on. So we see Wes, and he's speaking with Chrishell and Ivar and Tom is just gushing over how sure B-Rob was. He's like, oh my gosh, anything that he says now, I'm going to take heed to it. I'm going to listen because he just knew. And Wes is sitting back and he's like, how does one know if someone is 100% a traitor? And they're all like, well, you don't know. You can't know. There's no way you can know unless you're a traitor. And Wes says, bingo, ciao. So all of that confidence that B-Rob had just put a big ass target on not only his back, but also on Dylan's back, because they worked as a team. They worked together as a team, but that is the end of episode 4. Baby, the way this episode gagged me, I know a lot of y'all get in my comments. In this show, I saw a lot of comments saying, I don't watch this show, but I watch your reviews. And I love that. And I appreciate it so much. But I really think y'all should try watching this show. It's so good. It's so excited. It will have you under the covers biting your damn fingernails, okay? But tell me what you thought about this episode, because Bob the drag queen did not see any of this coming at all. He took it on the chin, though. He took it on the chin, even though he was really hurt by what Danielle did to him. My heart broke for him in that scene. But I have a question. Do y'all think that Bob the drag queen would have done that to Danielle? Like if it was, same situation, just flipped. Instead, B-Rob is running around the house telling everyone to vote for Danielle. Do you think that Bob the drag queen would have also voted for Danielle? I wonder. For some reason, I don't think that he would have. I think that he would have made some alternative plan to save Danielle. I don't think that he would have went along with it. Let me know what you think about that, and let me know what you think about the entire episode. I had so much fun watching it. I have so much fun reviewing this show. I cannot wait to see all of your comments down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you're made aware when I post a new upload, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye!
Roxiie says we're gonna